Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Brita Wallace, family and parent educator with Wallace Family Ministry. We are on day 9 of the Love Dare Challenge. So we are going to go over some key points. My board keeps falling down, so let's hope it does not. And we always start with a verse, so we're just going to hop right into our study today. Our verse for today is 1 Peter 5:14, and it's greet one another with a kiss of love, okay? So this says, kings bow while soldiers salute, acquaintances wave while friends shake hands, and families embrace while lovers kiss. Greetings provide us with a dynamic way to encounter one another and show appropriate affection and respect. Each greeting depends upon the nature and closeness of each relationship, okay? So we should be close to our spouses, right? We should be greeting them with a kiss. We should be making sure that we give them a really amazing greeting when they come home. That might sound silly, but the thing about it is, just think about how good that would make you feel if your spouse greeted you just so nicely, just so well when you got home, and made you believe that you were the most important thing in the world in that moment, that they have been waiting for you to come home all day, that they're so excited to see you. Imagine you made them feel like that when they made you feel like that when they saw you, excuse me. A greeting can be a litmus test for relational health. Okay, so think about it. What do you and your mate reveal about your relationship simply by how you greet one another? Okay, so that's one of the questions that the authors ask us. Is it caring, okay, or is it callous? All right, do your greetings cause your spouse to look forward to seeing you, or do they think, man, I need to sit in the car for a little while first so I can mentally prepare to go into my home because I know it's going to be stressful, and I just also had a stressful day at work? Or they're dreading coming home because they know, again, that it's going to be stressful, or there's going to be discord in the home, right? So we want to make sure that we are greeting our spouses well. We want to make sure that they're proud to see us, right? They're looking forward to seeing us, is what I meant to say, not proud, but some people decide that they don't want to give a warm greeting because it feels foreign to them. It feels like insincere, right? Like they don't feel like they should greet their spouses if they're upset with them about something, if they don't have a good relationship already. But you have to understand that you're not changing the relationship by being stuck in our feelings, by acting out in our feelings, right? We want to act in love. We don't want to let our hearts and our feelings lead us. We want to be able to lead them. And that's how change starts to happen, right? So we want to make sure that we're not saying that we're feeling true to ourselves, okay, and how we're feeling inside, because that's temporary. And we can stew there. We can stew in that place. We can let it create bitterness inside of us. We can allow it to affect us really negatively, and we can just decide to live there if we want to. And just think about that for a minute, though. I'm just going to ask you to do that. Think about that, and think about what that does to your marriage, what that does to you. Is it helpful or hurtful? Is it, when we're deciding to stew and become bitter and not let things go, there's some things that need to be reconciled. There are some things that need to be addressed. Yes, absolutely. I'm not saying that we don't address them or reconcile them. There's also things that we need to let go, and there's also things we do actually need to reconcile and work through with our spouses and take to our spouses and speak the truth, but in love, okay? Speaking the truth in love, that's very, very important. As humans, And in our society, in our culture, that's just not something that we really learn how to do, is to speak the truth in love. We just say, oh, hey, like this is the truth, and sometimes the truth hurts. Yes, that's true, but we can soften the truth, right? With some compassion and some grace and with love, right? We can make sure that we are not adding to the blow by our approach of the situation. We speak the truth in a loving way. We speak the truth in love, okay? So, I'm sorry, I got distracted for a minute. All right, so there are many good reasons to be kind, even when we're feeling like our feelings are contrary, right? So, love is being the greatest reason of all. While greetings can reflect what's currently happening in a relationship, they can also become a loving investment to future health. So, yeah, maybe the relationship isn't good right now, but you're planting seeds. You're planting seeds for a better future. You are literally changing something in your home that usually maybe you're just mad all the time at each other and you guys never have good greetings. You just don't have a really good relationship, right? Or maybe it's not bad, but you've just kind of gotten into this way of being out of comfortability or just busyness or whatever, life happens. So what would it do if you just did something positive, like making sure we greet our spouses well when they come home and making them feel like they're the most important person in the world? Well, of course it's going to change the dynamic in some fashion. Maybe it's not going to make everything better. Maybe it's not going to change everything. Of course not, right? But it's going to be a seed that you're planting. It's going to be something that brings lasting fruit if we decide to go ahead and do this, okay? So throughout history, the Jewish people demonstrated an understanding of the power and an effective greeting. Used more than 200 times in the Bible is the word shalom, and this means peace or tranquility, okay? This was a word intentionally employed to greet others. They used it to say, have a long life, peace be with you, and peace be to your house, and peace be to all that you have. 1 Samuel 25:6. This word is still used today, and it reveals how a daily greeting can be turned into a dynamic blessing, okay? We don't have to say shalom when we're greeting our spouses, right? But sharing a strong 5-second greeting each day with our spouse or our partner can become a long-term blessing to our relationship. Our greetings should say, you are priceless to me, as opposed to saying, you're just tolerated by me. Okay, there's a big difference there, right? So God's children are meant to be humble and gracious enough to address even their enemies with kindness. So if you do have that faith, because this is a safe place and it is it's a faith-filled Bible study, and I am a faith-filled person. I lead a ministry, but this is a safe place. This is a non-judgment zone. We want you to still take the principles that we're learning here and being able to apply them to your life. So if you do have that faith, if you are a Christian, then we are called to be humble and gracious, even giving our enemies kindness, okay? So that's not always the easiest thing to do. It's something we all struggle with and fail at, I'm sure, at times in our lives, right? I know I certainly do. But if we are polite to others, because we are polite to people on the street, we hold the door a lot of times. When we go to stores, I know that's something I do. If somebody's behind me, I hold the door for them. We practice kindness with other people. We practice kindness with strangers all the time. Why do we think our spouse doesn't deserve that same kindness and respect from us, right? And even more so, they deserve that even more. So consider the difference that it would make in your spouse's day if everything about you. Express the fact that you were really glad to see them. Like I said before, that you were just so excited, like it was the most important moment in your day is to see your spouse walk through the door, or when you wake up in the morning, if you get to enjoy the day together, where you are just really like, hey, you know how much I love you, let me just kiss and hug up on you and just give you lots of love, right? That is going to plant seeds, good fruit. I'm always talking about the good fruit. If you follow Wallace Family Ministry, I'm going to always be talking about the good fruit and the seeds that we need to plant in order to get that good fruit and to weed out, the generational negative bad seeds that have been planted in us, not just, in our families and our homes, but this is a cultural thing. That's how it's become a generational thing, right? We were taught to be hard. We were taught to stuff our feelings. Well, look at the mental health crisis in this country, okay? It is not saying, those statistics are saying that something is wrong, right? And I believe that it starts within the family. It starts when we're small. We grow up and we have all this trauma and these issues, and we learn to become hard. We learn to become closed off. We learn to build walls, okay, instead of boundaries. Boundaries are healthy. Walls are constricting. They keep people out. They keep our loved ones out, and they prevent us from moving forward, right? So a good greeting sets the stage for positive, healthy interaction. Like love, it makes a person feel valued, and it puts wind in their sails for better moments ahead, right? Don't we want to see that for our spouses? Even when we're mad at them, we should want the best for them, right? We should want them to change their demeanor around us too. And when we're practicing love and when we're doing these things, they become responsive. Maybe not on day one, especially if you haven't done that for a long time, or this is foreign to you, then it's going to take time. They're going to be a little weary of what's going on maybe, or they're just going to eat it up because they haven't had that affection and that attention in so long. They're going to be like, yes, give it to me, give me all the attention and affection. But inside, they're still going to be like, what's going on here? Like, what happened to my partner? They're different now, right? So before going home, think back to the story Jesus told of the prodigal son. This is a really good story, okay? So even if you don't have a faith, this is just a really, really good story, and you can take the key principles out of it. So this young, rebellious man demanded his inheritance money and then wasted it away on a foolish lifestyle, okay? But soon the poor decision caught up with him. He found himself eating scraps in a pig pen. Humbled and ashamed, he practiced his apologies before going home to face his father. But the greeting he anticipated was not the one he received. He thought his father was going to be mad. He thought his father was going to shame him. He thought all of these things, that his father was, how he was going to react to see him. He actually offered to work for his father on his farm. And his father instead felt compassion for him. He embraced him and he kissed him. And then he threw a party because his son was lost and now he was found, and he returned home. Okay, so he valued the relationship more with his son. He was excited and thrilled and just so blessed that his son returned home, that he thought very possibly he was never going to see him again. And now he was home, so he celebrated that. He was so excited to see him, and we can learn from that. The father, I'm surely, was very disappointed and very upset and feeling all sorts of things when the son demanded his inheritance and left the family business, right? I'm sure he was feeling all those same things we would be feeling. But he did not act on those feelings when the son returned. He kissed, he embraced him, he threw him a party, a celebration, because his son was lost and now he was found, right? So really, this was the last thing that, the son had expected. How do you think, that made him feel when his father displayed this kind of greeting and love as opposed to the one he thought he was going to get, right? He valued the relationship, and this healed anything that was broken in that relationship, okay? It literally transformed all the bad feelings that were there between the two of them, okay? So, what kind of greeting would cause your mate to feel so valued and loved by you? How could you excite his or her senses with a kinder word, a more affectionate touch, and a more gracious tone of voice? A loving greeting is a gift you can give your spouse every day by what they see, hear, and feel. It is priceless in value, and it literally costs us nothing. Okay? Costs us nothing. Maybe 2 minutes of our time, right? They're recommending, Alex and Stephen Kendrick. Actually, no, 5 seconds. Excuse me. 2 minutes would be a long greeting. But hey, if you want to take it a step further, you can take it a step further. I'm struggling this morning, guys. I'm struggling to talk. I'm struggling to get this study out, but we are doing it. So, yeah, I mean, it literally costs us nothing to greet our spouse like this. Think about the opportunities you're giving to greet each other on a regular basis. We can do that when coming in the door, when meeting for lunch, saying goodnight, waking up in the morning. We talked about some of those things. We can even do it via text message. Maybe our spouses aren't here and we get to Skype or FaceTime them or Zoom them or something else like that. We can get creative in however it is that we're greeting them. Make sure we are greeting them well. We don't have to be crazy and dramatic and like totally out of character where you're like, okay, maybe my spouse has gone off the rocker a little, but we can make it so they feel valued and loved, right? And offer them compassion. We can be warm. Every day with our spouse is a gift from God for us to cherish and enjoy. So think about how we're greeting our spouses. Do you do this well? Okay, does your spouse feel appreciated? Do they feel loved? Even when you're not getting along too well, you can lessen the tension and help turn things around by the way you bless them when you greet them. Remember that love is a choice, so choose to love them at hello. I love that. All right, so we are going to just jump into our key points and then our dare. So the first thing that I always write down is our verse. So just 1 Peter 5:14 if you want to reflect back on that. All right, families embrace while lovers kiss is our first point. Then we have greetings provide us with dynamic ways to encounter one another and show appropriate affection to one another. And then you can use a greeting as a litmus test, okay, to assess your relational health. Greetings can also become a loving investment to the health of your relationship. Sharing a strong 5-second greeting each day can be long-term blessing to your relationship. A good greeting sets the stage for positive, healthy interactions. It makes a person feel valued, and it puts their souls for better moments for better moments ahead. How can you be better at greeting your spouse? All right, and love is a choice, so let's choose to love our spouses at hello. Okay, so the dare today is think of a specific way you'd like to greet your spouse today. Do it with a smile and do it with enthusiasm. Again, it doesn't have to be out of character and crazy for you. I mean, maybe greeting them with enthusiasm and a smile is a little out of character for you, but that's a growth. I'm saying, like, really just like obnoxious. You don't have to be obnoxious and just really crazy about it. Just have some enthusiasm. Just give them a genuine smile, right? Be sincere. And then once you got the thoughts up of how you want to greet your spouse today, then determine to change your greeting daily to reflect more love for your spouse, starting with today. All right? So make sure that you tune in for tomorrow for day 10. I am so glad that you guys have joined me today. Thank you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Make sure you like it and share me with a friend if you think somebody would benefit from the Love Dare studies. I'm also doing one for parents, so if you are a parent, make sure you check out those videos too. They're all labeled for your convenience. I drop them at 8 o'clock, and you can do them whenever you have time. So take care. God bless. See you tomorrow.